Let's talk about the beta white knights. Let's talk about the liberal male feminists. These guys are wolves in sheep's clothing. They really, deep down, a lot of times they're short guys, a lot of times they're minority guys, and they think that they have to adapt because they can't stand up to alpha men. They can't compete with guys who are stronger than them, taller than them, better looking than them. So their strategy is to play the emotional game. Their strategy is to befriend the woman, pretend like they're an ally, pretend like they know what she's going through, pretend like they're not one of those guys. They're not a misogynist. They're not trying to control her, right? This is a strategy. This is a dating strategy that weaker beta men use to get with women, to get girlfriends, to get sex, to get marriage. These guys have compromised their own integrity. They've compromised masculinity. They don't stand up for anything that's right. Therefore, they don't help anything in society. They don't help relationships as a whole. In fact, they're damaging it because they're enablers. They enable bad female behavior. And there's essentially just wolves in sheep's clothing. I think these guys are the real misogynists because they really don't care about women, right? I think at the core of a lot of red pill guys' frustration and angst with women and modern dating and modern society is that it's just not right. It's not truthful. It's not how it should be. Now, you could make a greater argument that women were never great like this. Women were never on the level. Women didn't ever have integrity. Women didn't ever live up to any code, or you could make that argument. I mean, I probably wouldn't disagree with that argument. So you could argue in the grand scheme of things, the greater scheme of things, that women didn't have integrity to begin with. Right? Well, maybe you can make that argument, but these guys make everything so much worse because they not only validate women in general, they validate the bad behavior. This is what enabling does. Enabling validates bad behavior. Right? It makes it okay. Oh yeah, you can sleep around, you can have a high body count, you can do whatever you want, girl, just so long as you have sex with me. Just so long as, I get what I want. I don't care about your future. I don't care about your kids. I don't care about society. I don't care about any of that shit. Just so long as I get what I want, right? This is the white knight enabler. This is the beta male feminist. You can't be a male feminist and not be a weak, sniveling weasel in 2021. Why? Because modern feminism is messed up. It's radicalized. It's insidious. It's full of lies. And if you're a proponent of that, if you believe in that shit, you're phony. I've talked to so many of these guys, and they're all just fucking phonies, right? They attack you for being a misogynist and speaking any truth about bad female behavior, whereas they have no code of ethics, no moral compass. They're liars, they're manipulators to get what they want. And the shitty thing about it is it works, right? It works. And I think it works because a lot of these women themselves are manipulators. A lot of these women themselves are phony liars. right? So they find common ground in that. It's commonalities, man. So you might say, oh, they deserve each other. It's like, oh, yeah, maybe, okay. But meanwhile, the women are choosing these type of guys. So what type of offspring are they going to have? What type of next generation are they going to produce and promote? What type of children are they going to have? You know, what type of aura are they going to give off everywhere they go? This is going to affect our society. It's going to affect the next generation. And women are choosing these type of guys because women would rather choose a guy who supports her deception and her lies than actually change herself and live according to truth and accountability. Let me say that again. Women are choosing these type of phony, insidious, weaselly men, these white knight beta male feminists. They're choosing these type of guys because they would rather a guy support their deception and their lies and the false narrative and the false, the whole world of feminism that they've created around themselves, which is just fabricated and based on flimsy lies. They would rather choose that guy than actually change, than actually live by any kind of truth or moral code or ethical standard. This is the world that we live in. People are so bereft of any normalcy. It's like everything that they fought for and won and accomplished in past generations, as far as any kind of truth or any kind of code or anything like that, really is just out the window because you want to be a feminist, because you want to go have your cake and eat it too. You want to go be a slut. You want to go have random sex, be immoral, right? And these guys are just like, yeah, great. I don't care if she ruins herself. I don't care about the next generation. I don't care about kids or anything like that. All I care about is that I get mine. And so I'm going to hype that up, even though I know it's bullshit, because these guys know better. Guys know better. A lot of times women can get duped and women don't know better because, you know, women are emotional creatures, particularly the younger ones. And it takes them a long, long time to realize that, you know what, I think I'm the one who's full of shit. You know, and I've lived my life wrong. And sometimes they repent. Sometimes they turn around and change their ways. Usually when they hit the wall or they have a kid or they get an STD or whatever, they get their heart broken by Chad. Sometimes they repent and turn around and say, all right, I was wrong. And they go look for a good guy, maybe. Sometimes. Again, it's back to that argument. Were women ever righteous? Were women ever moral? Were they ever really not solipsistic and opportunistic and self-seeking? Were they ever not this way? It's in their nature. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't met too many. I've met some. I haven't met too many, though, that really are honest and objective and live by any kind of truth. Haven't met a lot. But they'd rather get hyped up by these jerks, by these dickheads. And they'll reward those guys too. Because what it's really about is female supremacy. What it's really about is they want power. Social power, sexual power. Social power through sexuality. It's weird and it's sick and it's like, I knew that. I figured that out 10 years ago when I first got into the dating market 10, 15 years ago. Well, it took me a while to kind of get it. And then I realized, really what actually really helped me was moving to a liberal city, Seattle. So I really learned how these liberals really are. They're not moral. They pretend to be moral. They say, I don't need God. I'm moral. No, you're not. First of all, no, you're not. Okay. First of all, you're not moral. These people are not moral. They just think what they really are is they live by their own code. They live by a selfish solipsistic code. And they might call it moral, but really it's not. Believe me, I live amongst these people. They are not moral. They claim they are. Oh, we're more moral. We don't need God. I don't need God. I'm moral. Like, no, you're not. I see you. I see you every day. I know how you act. You are insulated. You're insular. You're exclusive. You're selfish. You're solipsistic. You love money. You love self-gain. You don't really care about other people. You think liberals really care about other people? Go to downtown Seattle. Look at all the homeless. It's an epidemic here. They don't care. If they cared, they'd take some of that money, because, oh, believe me, they got money. The median income in Seattle is $75,000 a year. Median income, $75K in Seattle. And yet we got a homeless problem, which means they don't care. You could build homes for the homeless with tax money. They don't care. They only care about themselves. And it's the same with feminists. It's about power. It's not about equality. It's about female supremacy. And how do they gain it? Through the lies and deception of blaming men on the one hand, and through the power of sexuality on the other hand. They use sexuality as power because they know guys want to fuck them. So they walk around like their shit doesn't stink. They walk around like they're special. They got this solipsistic smirk on their face 24/7. Why? Because all they want is power. They don't care about truth. They don't care about living in the truth. They don't care about self-realization, self-accountability, self-agency. No, never. It's always blame shifting. They get what they want. As long as they're getting what they want, that's all that matters. It's not about the greater good. You think they're going to raise quality children? Fuck no. You think the next generation is going to be any better off than this generation? No, it's going to be way worse. Each generation gets worse and worse. Because we haven't put a stop to the bullshit and the lies of modern feminism and this liberal SJW culture that we live in. We haven't called it out for its fallacies, for its deception. At least not on a whole. There's many people out there who are calling it out. But it still seems to be the popular undercurrent. And that needs to change. But we need, as men, we need to call these white knights out. Hey, you guys are phony. You guys aren't living in the truth. You guys are just placating women. You guys are just gaslighting them so you can get sex. So you can get what you want from them. That's not masculine. That's not alpha. That's not what being a man is. Being a man is having integrity. It's standing up for what's right. Hey, you guys are selling a lie. You guys are phony. Feminism is phony. This whole leftist culture is sick and insidious. Anyway, I think I made my point. I'm going to leave it there. Appreciate you guys listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.